finna get live. We finna get live. We finna get live. Live. 55. We finna get live. We finna get. Hey y'all.
Hey there.
It's Ebony and Donna. It's Valentine's.
Jesus, my Valentine. Hey Lord.
We're gonna keep this Black History thing going. So for y'all who don't know, Jalen is biracial. Yeah. His dad is white.
Caucasian.
His mom clearly is not. And during this time, talk to us about how you have the conversation about Black history.
So it's been very difficult just because, I mean, I've never had to do it. Like, I feel like with parenting, there's always something that we're learning, right? And for me, that was my thing. I had to teach my son, like, how to deal with race and why, you know, and even him asking me, you know, why do Black people get treated a certain way? Those are questions that I haven't been able to answer, but to have the dialogue. He got to first grade, he got to public school. They didn't have it in the curriculum. I didn't.
Now, West County, it's not a whole lot of Black people.
And listen, it's a few of us, 9, but when I moved there in 2014, the first Black person I saw, she probably thought I was crazy. I was going to give that lady a hug. I was so happy to see another Black person. And it just wasn't any of us. Like, I've just been, you know, prior military, so I'm good with diversity, but not to see none of us. I was, no, this
and you know they still handing out them Klan flyers in County.
Man,
just saying.
But at one particular time, like, it's so funny with children, how they learn and stuff like that. But my son, he came up to me and he was rubbing my skin and he was like, "Mommy, you brown. Why you brown, Mommy?" And I'm like, that's when it really hit me. Like, he's seeing color now. And I need to explain to him why I look different than the rest of some of his other family members. So for me, he had to get on Amazon. And I was like, okay, I can't really depend. It's not appropriate for me to depend on a school system to teach him Black history, especially, and I didn't have attitude when they don't. Right. So I went to Amazon, got a lot of books, and then I would teach him, which was important to me too, specifically slavery, because of the fact that his dad is white and I'm Black. So that he needed to understand, like, hey, this is how it was. And ask him, you know, to have a conversation, not just, you know, we were slaves in the end, but to actually have a conversation and say, what did you think about that? Like, how does that make you feel? You know, what thoughts are you having after learning this information? So just to keep the dialogue open, and specifically for Black History Month, but all the time now, because even in the news when he hears stuff, he's like, "Oh, Mommy, I heard about this Black cop or this Black boy," and now he's understanding to see color. And I mean, it's bittersweet almost, because it's like, okay, I want to prepare him for the unknown and worst case scenario almost. But then at the same time, it's like, I don't want him to be fearful, but I want him to know you don't look like your friends, and you don't, you know,
your experience is different.
You're not going to have those same experiences that they have just because, you know, your dad's white. And I had to have that conversation with him, because he's like, "Oh no, Mommy, my dad's white." And I'm like, well, people looking at you, they aren't going to know your dad's white. You don't get a pass because your dad is white. You look just like you're light-skinned. And that you're a Black little boy almost. And granted, you're not, but people looking at you, they're not going to know that. They're going to treat you as such. So this is what you do in case that happens, or when that happens, this is what you need to do, and this is how you need to handle it. For example, we watched The Hate U Give.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Great movie. Shout out to The Hate U Give. But just having him, and we watched it at the movies, and then we watched it again at home, and I really liked watching it at home because I was able to pause it. Like every 10 to 15 minutes, hey, you have questions. Let's talk about this scene. Do you have any questions? What did you learn from this? Does this bother you? And just to have that, because this whole storyline behind it, where she had to be in 2 different worlds, that's really how I feel like my son has to be. He's like, okay, he goes to this school in this great county with mostly white people, but then I take him to Florida, and then, you know, the family here at the house is Black. So having him to know both worlds, essentially, and how to operate in both worlds without him having to feel like he has to be 2 different people, it's difficult. I mean, I couldn't imagine how he feels, you know what I mean? So it's just ongoing, just open dialogue with him has really been what I've tried to be as open and as transparent as I can. I can't prepare him for everything, obviously, because I don't know what the future holds, but I want to at least have the openness to say, hey, you can tell me anything. You can ask me anything about race, about, you know, we working on puberty next. Y'all pray my strength. What conversations do you have with Nike about being a Black little girl, or, you know?
A lot of it is for hair, for example. My hair is locked. you know, and her hair is not. And she sees people on YouTube or whatever who have long blonde straight hair or long brown straight hair. And she'll say, oh, mommy, I want my hair like Merida, or I want my hair like Tiana or Cinderella. And rather than going into this whole diatribe about how black is beautiful and you should love your hair, you know, I try to find ways to interpret what she's saying in a way that I could still style her hair, for example. So you've seen it, you know, when she tells me she wants her hair like Cinderella's hair, that means I braid it in a bun, in the top bun, and I may have some hair hanging on the side. Or
it'd be cute too, got beads and stuff on it.
So I try to incorporate that to show her we can do so much with your hair. You don't have to want it to be different.
Yeah, for me, you have to know your children, right? And I know my son every day of the week. That baby's sensitive. So like, I have to not only be conscious of what I'm saying, but how I'm saying it. Like at the moment that I say it, the tone that I'm saying it, what he's doing while I'm trying to talk to him. You know, sometimes. So just knowing that, right? Because I feel like even with getting to an emotional component, I feel like with us growing up almost, that wasn't almost afforded to us. It was just like, no, go sit down. That's what I said, you know? And it's just like, okay, I remember like when I would get whoopings and stuff, my mom would tell me like why I got a whooping because I was disrespectful or did something wrong, but don't do it no more. Like, okay, all right. Like that's it. So I feel like with us, I don't know if this is new generation parenting or not, but it's almost like we consider so many other components, you know, the weather and why, you know, what was going on that week and, you know, maybe they're acting like this because, you know, just the energy they're feeling. It's just, I feel like we attribute so many other components to figure out, okay, let's get to the root, as you always say. What's the root cause? You know, to figure out, you know, what's going on and how to approach that conversation about whatever it is that's going on. Right.
I think when you don't have to worry about how you're going to pay your rent, you can think about
Bless
other
the
things.
Lord.
So
shout out to our parents that was out here.
Right. 20 years old. 20 years old trying to figure it out.
Had 2 kids. Hey, I don't know
trying
how she
to figure
did
it
that
out.
thing.
Right. Exactly.
I appreciate your mama.
She did the best she could. Shout out to Pam.
Hey, Auntie.
But yeah, I think that what's so amazing, again, another amazing thing about living together is the fact that I can see firsthand, you know, what you're doing, what works, and I can ask you questions. I can talk to you about it. And if you don't know, you just don't know, and you figuring it out, you know, or we can just bring it to one another. Like we have a space where we can bring it in and
talk
have discourse, right?
Just, okay, what you think about?
Right.
Donna's favorite says, have you ever considered? When she do the hand move, y'all, you finna get a whole
We're about to go deep.
Presentation.
About to get deep. Because we were raised in survival mode. It wasn't about thinking about the feeling. It was just about executing. It was always about executing.
Everything got done.
And we have exactly. And we have an opportunity now to not be in that space of just survival. You know, we can actually live. We can look at life. We can think. We can analyze, and then develop a strategy and an approach. You know. So I'm grateful for that. And in you having a conversation with your son, it benefits me, you know, it benefits, and again, just, I don't even think you know the weight of what you're doing right now. Like you are a trailblazer of sorts because you having a conversation right now and there might be a mom with a mixed race child trying to figure out, okay, what do I do? You know? So I think that when we post this, maybe you should put a couple of the books that really helped you, or a couple of the questions. Definitely see The Hate You Give.
Definitely see that.
And
another point,
maybe you could put some questions in there too.
I could do that.
To
All
guide
of that.
conversation.
My son, he used to want his hairstyle like his daddy, right? Which was fine, but I told him he don't got his daddy kind of hair. He got mommy hair. Mommy hair came on through.
Listen,
so
it's strong. I don't know how it wasn't gonna come through because your hair is militant.
Lord. So now lately, my baby wanted to get his hair braided. It was a whole altercation almost. But thank the Lord for prayer. Donna had done taught me off. And I'm going to tell them, she had taught me off the cliff. Y'all was going to go off on everybody about my baby hair. But she ain't, you know, she was like, what would Jesus do? Right. When you say that? Did the Lord tell you to say that?
Right.
So I was like, okay, Jesus ain't telling me to say that. So he's been getting his hair braided. And I love that because I wasn't the one who told him to get his hair braided. He was like, hey, mommy, what do you think about this? And that's why I'm like, it's important for him to be his own individual. Say, hey, if you want your hair braided, hey, baby, you ain't said nothing. Let me show you these hairstyles real quick. But I never would want to be like, well, you look black, so
You need to do
let
this.
me. You supposed to have your hair braided because you have good hair. Because in high school, Eric, he got pretty hair, and he got to have hair braided. Like, no,
They had them cornrows
If he
too.
ages all the way down.
Man,
They only do like
woo.
half the head now. That's a new style, but they used to do it all the way
And
back.
I used to be there for
into
all
school.
of it. You hear me?
So, but for him to be able to be like, hey, mommy, I want to get my hair done like this. And I'm able to be like, okay, wear your hair like that. When he didn't have any hair, he wanted just a fade. Hey, get a fade, baby. And that's the one thing, just like you were saying with diversity, it goes for boys too. He's had so many different hairstyles that I don't even think he knew that he could have. And it's just, even with that, it's been a learning experience. Like, hey, handsome, you can get your hair braided, but it ain't
She
just
calls him
straight
handsome,
back.
by the way. I think
baby.
that's really cute. Anyway.
You ain't gotta get it straight back. Get you, black people, we real creative. Get you some zigzags, some designs and stuff. He got the little, what
Fish
you call
bones.
the little things?
Oh, the little metal pieces.
He got the little, he fancy now. We have to. It's been really cool to just be like, to allow him that space to be like, hey, I want to try this. And that was the other thing. We had to have a conversation and say, hey, because it was little boys at his school. They weren't black, y'all. But little boys at his school that was trying to tell him that they didn't like his hair.
What?
Yes.
Tell me?
Hey. Who said it?
Whoa.
I was, gonna go all the way up there.
Listen. She's a fighter. All right.
I'll tell you my
I know a
business,
lot of people know her as Dee's little sister.
Yeah, that's been my name since
But her
98.
name ought to be Pop Off Murphy because it don't take much. Okay, it does not.
I fight everybody at that school.
I spend most of my time like this. Okay, like this.
She got to quote some scriptures, then I calm down and stuff. But I be all right. But
she's a fighter.
my baby tell me, hey, who said it? Then mommy, him over there, go say something to him.
He be amping you up.
He do. So the little boy at the school was trying to tell him they ain't like his hair. So I was like, well, what you said? So he was just like, mommy, I told him I don't care. This is my hair. Hey, that's what you say to him.
Told y'all.
Now you ain't finna be walking around looking throw away now. If you say you want your hair braided when it get old, take it out.
Looking what?
Throw it away. So you gonna have it done, but I ain't have to, y'all. I've been trying to teach him independence and stuff. So he was, when he get in the car now, that's all he be, mommy, guess what? I almost had to jump on.
Oh
today.
no! Oh my God! Not the baby.
Tell me about it. And then what he said. You know I ain't like him anyway. Man, the whole ride home, I be, hey, he can get it. He said, where he at? Where his mama them at?
Y'all
pray my strength, man. It don't take a lot. It don't take a lot, but hey, I know some of y'all other mothers out here go full mama bear.
Yeah.
About your child. Before you know it. That's the thing. Like, it just happened to me all the time because, he don't, hey, they make you just all the way want to catch a case sometimes. They just come for you. So, yeah. Y'all pray my strength. Just keep me uplifted at the throne of grace, please.
Guys, that's all the time we have.
Sorry, y'all. I took most of the time. I'm sorry.
Completely.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
I'm good, man. I gotta go.
You had to get that up.
I'm gonna have to go lay down after this because I can't be up. I'm gonna be hyped the whole way to work tomorrow. And I hope he say something else to my son. Wait till I pick him up. Yeah, so I just go to a whole new level about my child.
Yeah, we see.
So anyway, y'all have a good night. Y'all drop some
rest your nerve a little bit.
Comment. Let us know what you're thinking.
But yeah, we'll pick it up next week. Talking about cohabitating and dating, huh?
Hey,
that'll be
let's
interesting.
do that.
All
Tell
right,
y'all about my personal life or lack thereof. I don't know.
We'll see y'all next
Bye.
week.
We finna get live. We finna get live.